What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here for something slightly a little bit different. We're going to talk comic book pricing grading, but hold on, don't click off the video yet. The real topic is grading companies holding their respective hobbies hostage. Now, the gist of this in regards to the pricing changes, so you have, because I know a lot of people don't do the comic book grading. I don't personally grade comics. I always buy graded comics. The gist is, to give you the Cliff Notes version, most of the tiers on the lower to mid end went up a couple bucks. The higher end tiers got shaken around a little bit, potentially significantly more expensive by a decent amount, depending on exactly what you're submitting. That's the long and the short of it. Once again, I don't want to get into the individual pricing structures and all that. I have it up on the screen. If you're curious, feel free to look it over. What was interesting, though, and kind of the point of this video, was I immediately noticed on Instagram, Facebook, I'm in a lot of comic book Facebook groups. I follow a lot of comic book influencers and just generally large comic book accounts on IG. And the immediate reaction was, pitchforks, torches, let's mount up, boys and girls. F this company, screw this, screw that, you're crazy, oh my goodness. And part of me laughs because it's kind of it's the similar stuff that we kind of go through on our side of things. And you see people in the comment sections. And once again, you can, what I kind of want you to take from this is take out CGC from this and insert PSA. For those not familiar with the comic book world, when it comes to grading over there, it is even more skewed. CGC is the PSA of the comic book industry, but even they have a stronger grip on it. Their second competitor is CBCS, which is owned by Beckett or part of Beckett, and they are a distant second place, a massively distant second place. The gap in those two is way more significant than what we see on the sports card side of things. And then after that, you have PGX and EGX and some other random ones that most people don't ever really use or talk about. They're kind of like the HGAs of the comic book world. Shots fired. So CGC just has the market dominated. Their books are way more liquid than everybody else. Once again, think of PSA compared to Beckett and SGC. They sell for a significant premium more than an equal grade in a CBCS book. It's been this way for a while now, and if anything, the gap has even widened, kind of like it has in the sports card world with PSA just asserting their dominance. They use the exact same grading scale. We don't get into the nuances there, but just to kind of paint a little bit of a picture for you. The funny part is in the comment section of these various social media posts revolving around this changes, you see the typical, I'm never using them again. If we all banded together and stopped using CGC, we would show them who's boss and they would have to lower prices. So here's the problem with that rhetoric. The whole, I'm never going to use them again, screw this company, this, that, the other thing. Spoilers, you are going to continue to use them. At least most of you. I am sure there's a small percentage that will be like, nope, I'm done. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back. But generally speaking, collectibles industry as a whole, cards, comics, whatever, for the most part, painting with a broad brush, true collectors, calm down. We are a bunch of greedy bastards, and we want to maximize the value out of everything. And the way to do that is send it to the premier grading company, regardless of whether you like them or not. Because the problem isn't so much what the grading company does or charges or any of that nonsense. The true problem is on the opposite side of the transaction. When you have an item, a collectible item, a card, a comic, a whatever, and you go to sell it, certain labels and brands are going to sell for a premium, PSA, CGC, over their competitions, Beckett, SGC, CSG, CBCS, PGX on the comic book side. This is the exact, even though cards and comics can be very similar at times and very different at times, they have a lot of similarities to each other. And this is definitely one of them. The secondary market demand, the premium that people will pay for a CGC graded book, is what allows CGC to roll out these pricing changes. It has nothing to do really with the people submitting to them on a daily basis. I mean, it does, because then they're taking and reselling it, but you kind of get my point here. The reason that CGC can up their prices, the reason that PSA can kind of basically do whatever they want to a degree, and most people will just kind of brush it off, is because when you go to sell your thing on eBay, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you get to charge more for it than the person next to you that sent it to a competitor, CBCS, SGC, Beckett, whatever the case might be. That's the key thing here. If you truly, and I said for the comic book people out there, I've said this in sports card videos in the past, if you truly want more options for grading, then go pay CBCS, or go buy CBCS 9/8 for the same price that CGC 9/8 sell for, or whatever, book that you're looking at. If it's not Ultramodern and you're looking at lower grade stuff, buy CBCS books in the same grade for the same price as CGC. Bet you won't do it. Bet you won't do it. And then the other thing, the institution's almost too big to fail. Too many people have too much money tied up in collections of CGC, PSA, pick whatever grading company you want. You're seeing it right now with Beckett, with them thinking about making some changes. The people that have heavy bags and Beckett slabs are all up in arms, causing a bunch of panic because they think it's going to affect the value of their stuff. People have massive collections in CGC slabs and PSA slabs and whatever other main grading companies across the different collectible industries, and they will go to war to protect that. Whatever the case might be, they will turn a blind eye to a lot of nonsense that these companies do because it is in their own personal best interests for insert 3-letter grading company acronym here to continue to be the top of the respective industry that you are discussing, because they sell for the most money. Why? Because we are greedy bastards in most cases. Yes, they're, once again, painting with a broad brush. Some people truly are in it for the pure collection of it. But I feel like if you're grading, you got a little bit of that greed aspect in you. A little bit of, I need to maximize the value. I need the best of the best. I need that say 9/8 on it, or PSA 10 gem mint, or whatever the case might be. I need to have it in that premier label. I only collect CGC books, and I look down upon those that do not have the same blue label as I, the superior. Or I only collect red and white prescription label PSA slabs, and your inferior tuxedos and Beckett 9.5s. I look down upon those trivial things. As long as that mentality exists where people care more about the slip of paper at the top of the collectible that has words written on it and grades assigned to it than the actual collectible in the holder, then guess what? CGC, they can keep raising their prices on high end. PSA, they can pretty much do whatever they want. No one's really going to care. People will complain. People will complain about this CGC change. There's people right now angrily typing on a keyboard on a Facebook group or Reddit or a message board somewhere saying, this is it, I'm done. And then next week they're packing up books to send off to CGC. Why? Because they sell for the most money. That's all I got for you, boys and girls. Peace.